Hello and welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. Kay Murray and Alejandro Moreno here in the studio. La Liga is underway. In fact, this man is off to Spain tomorrow to see Real Madrid and Barcelona's opening games. But tomorrow we'll get to see Atleti against Malaga. This is all very interesting because of the speculation surrounding the future of Julian Alvarez right now. It's something that Diego Simeone addressed today in the presser.
Bueno, creo que si el dueño del club tajantemente habla de la manera en cual habló, creo que no hay más. Esto es como cuando vas en los juicios, no hay lugar. Así que creo que está más que claro lo que expresó, y desde ese lugar nosotros nos comportamos desde lo deportivo, intentando cuidar a la persona, cuidar al jugador, esperar que esté en las condiciones que nosotros entendemos para que él siga cuidando el nombre que tiene y el futbolista que es y lo que nos dio. Así que entendemos que este partido no lo vemos en esas condiciones para poder jugar o participar, y espero que en estos 4 días ya evolucionemos un poco más y bueno, y estemos más cerca de lo que queremos.
Oh, this is all very interesting. Frank Leboeuf and Alex Kirkland joining us now. Alex, we've heard about these face-to-face talks between Julian Alvarez and Diego Simeone. We know that he's been Barcelona's main target this summer, but it would appear that he's not going anywhere right now.
Yeah, Simeone's saying the situation is crystal clear. I'm not sure it is. It doesn't feel crystal clear to me. And to be honest, Atletico's kind of whole project this season doesn't feel clear to me either, because, in part, because of this uncertainty about Julian. I think until the window's closed, whatever Simeone says, we won't feel absolutely sure that Julian is staying. It's true. The club CEO came out and said, we won't sell him, not even for 200 million euros. As you say, Simeone and Julian spoke before training last week and tried to clear the air, basically. Julian still saying, I want to go. Simeone saying, as long as he's one of my players, I'll treat you the same. I'm not going to leave you out, anything like that. And Simeone saying today again, he's our best player. He's our best attacking player. I want to build a team around him. I don't want him to leave. But it's difficult, and it's an awkward situation because Julian Alvarez made his position very, very clear in public during the World Cup, saying he wants to go. He's not going to be involved in this game against Malaga on Wednesday. He's going to avoid the judgment of the Atletico crowds and the fans in that game, but he can't avoid that for long. And the fans, I think, understandably, aren't best pleased about one of their sort of franchise players saying that he wants to join Barcelona. So, like I say, Simeone says it's crystal clear. It doesn't necessarily feel that way to me.
Yeah, one thing that feels crystal clear, because he's actually said it, is that Julian Alvarez wants to go to Barcelona and doesn't want to stay at Atleti.
You know, when our beloved colleague, Stephen Nicol, is cleaning his glasses all the time, right? He does this, we're just kind of peeling back the curtain. He does this ahead of every show. The reason he does this is because whatever he's seeing through his glasses is certainly not crystal clear. I'm only saying this to paint the picture that whatever Simeone is considering to be crystal clear is the equivalent of Stephen Nicol's glasses. It's not clear. You can't really see through it. I think the situation is only going to get more complex. It's going to get more complicated for both Simeone, the player, the club president, club owner, all of it. Everybody is going to have a difficult time here because Julian Alvarez has already played his cards. He's already said his part. And so the fans' reaction, and Alex just mentioned that, is going to be one of negativity, and understandably so. But do you think that's going to make Julian Alvarez want to stay? Do you think that he's going to be like, oh, you know what, I really enjoy being booed all the time at my home stadium. Let's stay here. This is fun. No, that's only going to make the situation, again, more difficult to deal with. It's going to be a daily conversation. It's going to be a daily question. It's going to be a daily thing for everybody involved. And eventually that pushes you to an outcome. And the outcome would be for Julian Alvarez to be leaving Atletico Madrid. But the one big thing that everybody has to deal with, whether they like it or not, is that there's a contract in place. And when there's a contract in place, I guess Atletico Madrid can take the position of saying, you're not going anywhere, Julian Alvarez. Even if you're happy, unhappy, we don't care. You're playing for us.
It's not great, though, is it, Frank, when you've got an unhappy player having to play for you and not wanting to be there?
Oh, of course. It's even worse than that. And you all know that if a player wants to go, you have to let him go. because he might not be the player that you have known. He might put some mess in the dressing room by his attitude, and he will never give what you expect him to give. Or I've seen him given. So it's a one-way traffic. Let him go, because it's not going to work. For Julian Alvarez, even if he stays, we had the experience of Griezmann going to Barcelona, not working very well, and going back, being booed, and finishing as a legend of Atletico Madrid. So maybe it's some light at the end of the tunnel for Julian Alvarez if he has to stay. But clearly, what is crystal clear for me is Alvarez has to go. Otherwise, you won't have the Alvarez that you used to have, and it won't be effective, and you're going to waste money that you could have gotten with the transfer.
Yeah. Meanwhile, one player who has made it to Barcelona is Rodri. He's arrived in Barcelona, his official presentation underway, and we will be seeing him in the colours of Barca in the coming season. There we go, some scenes today with club president Joan Laporta. He's actually said, after recently undergoing back surgery, that he's fit and ready to play, Alex.
Yeah, that's surprising to me, Kay, because all the reporting had been that he might be out for a few weeks and wouldn't be ready for the start of the season. But as you say, he's contradicted that. He said, I'm ready to go. It was a minor procedure, but still, we thought he'd be out for a few weeks. I think his signing is massive for Barca. I think it's a potential game changer in terms of the title race. I think it's a big deal for Barca. I think it's a huge deal for Real Madrid that he hasn't gone there. It's a double whammy really for Barca, what they gain and what their biggest rivals lose. There are questions about exactly where Rodri fits in, about how he sort of combines with Pedri. That hasn't always been a great partnership for Spain at international level. Let's see if it can be different at club level. But I think it's really exciting, and it's such a big statement as well that he chose Barca.
So let me stick with you a minute, Alex, because I heard that at the beginning of the season you picked Real Madrid to win the title, but the way you're talking now, I'm not too sure if you're going to change your mind now that Rodri's gone to Barca.
Well, do you know what, Kate? I made that prediction when we all thought Rodri was going to Real Madrid, and I feel like I've kind of got to stick with it now, even though the circumstances have changed. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be competitive. I think Madrid have made some really good signings. I think Cucurella is a great signing. I think a few of the players potentially are really exciting additions. A lot we don't know exactly about how it's going to work, and Diomande is very, very exciting as well. I think they've improved the squad significantly, but I think Rodri was the one for me. So yeah, with him, I thought Madrid were champions. Without him, and with him going to Barcelona, I'm not so sure. But I've made my bed, I think, so I've got to lie with it. I can't change my mind now.
That's very stubborn. It reminds me of somebody during the World Cup who picked Spain in the beginning, and then a few things didn't go Spain's way, but in the end he stuck with it, and he was right. Ali Moreno.
That guy's a genius. Genius. Look, when you think about Rodri and what you saw from him in the World Cup, then you go, yeah. Like that if you're Barcelona. If you think about Rodri and what he was with Manchester City last season, you kind of go, oh, I don't quite see it. Now, sustaining level of play for Rodri right now in his career seems to be a problem. And his body obviously betraying him is also a problem. Now, I don't know how there is minor back surgery. I don't know how that works. If you have back surgery, I don't think it's minor, right? As it pertains to what he can do for Barcelona, and it's something I mentioned yesterday, I think it frees up Pedri to go and join in the attack. He will play sort of this deeper role midfield last season, and he did so very well, but he limited his impact in the final third. I also think, though, if you're Barcelona and you're thinking about what were your areas of need, I didn't feel like that was a particular area of need, because you have the combo package of Pedri and Frenkie de Jong, and beyond that you have Marc Bernal, who also played very well for Barcelona. And you're thinking, well, you have enough numbers in that part of the field. And in terms of midfielders ahead of them, then you have Fermín López and Dani Olmo. It seems to be crowded, that part of the field for Barcelona. So I don't know that that would have been my priority, given the fact that you don't have a striker. You don't have a striker. And that's still the reality for the club.
What do you think of Alex's stubbornness here? Do you applaud it?
Well, I appreciate stubbornness as long as he's right. If he's wrong, then stubbornness borders on silliness.
Okay, it's a good point that Ale brought up, Frank, in the fact that over the last 2 years we have seen these injury setbacks with Rodri. This is a 30-year-old player, it's a Ballon d'Or winner, it's a World Cup winner, but there have been injury issues.
Yeah, that's the issue that I have with the signing for 76.5 million euros for Rodri is because it's a speculation. Therefore, it's quite abstract, where you don't really know where you go with him. Yes, I'm 100% with Ali Moreno. You know, how I commit now.
Yes, I like that, Frank. I like
100% with. Yeah, thank you. So I'm 100% with Ali in the fact that if we have the Rodri before his injury or during the World Cup, yes. If it's the Rodri for the season with Manchester City, I have doubts too. And that would be sad because Rodri is such a fantastic player. I really hope he's going to do very well for Barcelona. And I agree with the change of opinion from Alexi, because really, Rodri was a X factor. And if he's in his best form, best fitness, playing for Barcelona, yeah, Barcelona are the favorites.
Yeah, there we go.
Here's the thing. There was no change of opinion by Alex.
No.
He stubbornly.
I feel like inside there might be.
I know, but then he can't quite get himself to that point.
No, because he's a man of principles.
I mean, but realities have changed. The facts have changed.
Yeah, exactly. When facts change, opinions do, Alex. It is your last chance.
No, I'm sticking with it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to change my mind. As much as logic might fly in the face of it, and I'll undoubtedly be proved wrong, I'm sticking with Real Madrid.
Okay.
All right, and one person who's sticking with Real Madrid, Jose Mourinho, is back at Real Madrid. We got to see his official presentation today. Well, not many did, just the cameras, because the media weren't allowed into this one. And he's been training the team since last month. So why did it happen today, Alex?
Yeah, we've been waiting and waiting, not just for Jose Mourinho to be presented, okay, but for all the new signings to be presented as well. And the clock's been ticking, time's been running out. We've got to this week, the last week before the season starts, and we think, well, hang on, how are they going to do all this? And the answer is, they're not really. They're going to do these presentations, but as you say, it's not really a presentation because it's behind closed doors. You know, there are no fans. Gone are the days of a new signing at the Bernabeu, kicking balls into the crowds. The media aren't there. Poor old us journos. And there's no press conference or anything like that. It's simply a photo session, really. And that's what they can do, not just for Mourinho, we understand, but for the players, you know, Bernardo Silva and Diomande and Cucurella and all the rest. The same thing's going to happen, the same format over the next few days. It's a bit of a formality. And like you say, Mourinho's been working at Valdebebas, at the training grounds, for weeks now. So we understand. I mean, a lot of people are reporting that basically Mourinho wants this, a low profile. He didn't want a big presentation, a big event, didn't want to be, you know, making a big deal of it. He's already at work and he wants to treat it as quite matter-of-factly, you know, he's at work and that's it.
Do you buy that?
Okay. 100% no, I don't buy that. No, I do not. That Jose Mourinho doesn't want the attention, then why did he come back to Real Madrid? Nah, if you wanted to work in the background, if you were about the development of the player, the youth, if you were about the love for the game, why are you coming back to Real Madrid?
Who would turn down coming back to
Well,
Real Madrid?
I'm just, yeah, but don't tell me that this is not a way of being in front of the cameras. That because you don't have a press conference to present Jose Mourinho, that Jose Mourinho doesn't like the cameras. I'm sorry. If you turn on Netflix right now, who has a documentary out? It's Mourinho. In front of the cameras. So don't tell me the guy doesn't like the cameras and he just wants to be low profile. That doesn't match. In fact, that is boring. If Jose Mourinho being back in La Liga is interesting for, among many other reasons, is the fact that he is going to be in front of the cameras and he is going to tell us something that is going to be interesting. I don't want boring Jose Mourinho. That doesn't work. Doesn't work for Real Madrid. Doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for us. Doesn't work for anybody. Doesn't work for him, for that matter.
Yes, he's just waiting for those press conferences.
Well,
that's when we know he's going to bring it. But he's just a humble guy like you, Frank.
What?
Yes, 200%. More than me. Now, the thing is, you know, what is his nickname? I forgot. Oh, the special one. How do you become the special one? Not being behind the curtain. No, being in the front page, being everywhere, being under the light, because he loves that, and he's been very effective about that. But I'm with Ali. The guy wants to be in the front page. He wants to be there. He wants everybody to see what he does, and hopefully he does good. So nothing has changed, and I don't understand why they did that. It doesn't make any sense because he's been working with the players for like a month, so it was useless.
Yeah, can't wait for this season.
Bueno, si es penalti o no, pues no lo sé. Yo creo que tal vez si hubiese ido el árbitro después a revisar él por su cuenta, yo creo que igual lo hubiese echado atrás, porque para mí no lo toca.
Frank, where do you stand on this penalty?
I don't know. Really, I don't know. I thought it was his right foot, but not his right knee. So because he's touching his right knee, I'm with Ali 100% now. It's not a penalty. Because you don't touch your knee if you have a tackle like that. You touch your foot. Well done, Ali. Really well done. But you have to be a striker to know that because you know how to deal with that.
Has this been some of the discourse that we're seeing in Spain, Alex, after this decision?
Do you know, okay, it's funny. This hasn't got much attention at all here in Spain. I'll tell you why. Unfortunately, the way things are here, the way the mass media works here, if it's not Real Madrid, it's not Barcelona. And of course, neither of those two sides were involved in La Liga action this weekend, on opening weekend. It doesn't get talked about. There's no scandal. There's no drama. There's no endless analysis. Because it was Rayo against Sevilla, it just hasn't been talked about. So yeah, I agree that it's really soft. But has this been front page, news? No, it hasn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of drama in that game, and we hope for a lot more drama coming up this season. It's only the second fine that Luis Enrique has lost in his time at PSG. You can see his results when it comes to it. Obviously, they just won the Super Cup last Wednesday against Villa. Those losses coming to Chelsea in the Club World Cup and Lens today in the Trophée des Champions. So it's Ali's last day in Bristol for a little while because he's off to Spain again for the opening round. And last time that happened, this happened.
Oh.
Ready?
Oh, what a beautiful
ready.
time. What a beautiful time. Oh,
Get ready.
Well, it's because, okay, see, Mario, he's showing a whole lot of chest. He's like, he's unbuttoned everything. I said, well, if he's going to unbutton, then sure, why not? Give me some glasses. Yeah, take all of that chest hair, America and the world. Go on, you're welcome.
I mean, you are off to two top spots again, two holiday destinations, Barcelona and Alicante. Are we going to see this again, a repeat performance?
Well, one, Mario Suarez has to be available because he is the key that unlocks everything. Luis Garcia is not quite as happy to have me around as Mario was. And we're going to miss you, Kay.
Oh, it's okay.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know that we want to see Dan's chest hair. Nobody wants to see that.
There's quite a lot of it.
I know. There's plenty of it, but nobody needs that in their lives. So I'm guessing it's not going to be quite like that.
Let's get from the man who lives in Paris and doesn't mind a little loose button himself, Frank Leboeuf. Did we like Ala's Spain version with the lowering of the collar?
Yeah, it's always good to try, but you have to have a natural class. And that's where sometimes, maybe the T-shirt didn't fit. I don't know, the sunglasses, maybe they were wearing the right one. But I'm not the kind of guy who open up, and to show the chest or the hair. I don't know what you want to show, like Mario does so well. But I think I like the classic way of wearing clothes from Ali. When he goes to decontract, well, I say loose. Nah, it's not Ali. I don't like it.
It's not Ali.
Well, can I just say, we did not know what we were doing at the time. we did not know that we were going to be waterfront and
it
that
ended
Mario
up being a great piece.
Yes, and that Mario was going to be with his button down to his belly button
and his shoes off.
And he had no shoes.
Yes.
I saw this man without shoes the whole time we were there. So to be fair to us, we didn't know. CK is fully dressed as if like we're going to a nice place. I'm like, all right, well, I think we're going to be somewhere nice, but I didn't know.
It was a nice place.
It was a nice place. I'm just saying, I wasn't ready to.
What about the hat?
Well, hey,
what
Frank,
was the hat?
The hat is very simple, Frank.
Yeah.
If I burn the top of my head, it's a problem. And I just don't have a whole lot of protection out there, Frank. You know this better than anybody else.
Yeah, but you don't have to pick that specific hat. You have hats who can be nice as well.
Well, I'm saying that hat was very useful.
Yeah, Alex, I feel this wouldn't fly on Calle Serrano in Madrid. I just really do. Anyway, that's the Oscars Music Club. So Extra Time is on the way next. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be with you in just a moment on Extra Time. Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We spent a little bit too long talking about Ali Moreno's chest hair, and so here we are.
Well, I mean, there are worse things.
He's heading back to Spain.
There's some of it. It's not abundant, but some of it. Enough to keep people entertained.
A splattering.
Yes, it just hits you, a little bang.
Yes, okay. Let's get started. Ali's off to Spain this weekend with Real Madrid and Barcelona in action. And last time he was in Spain, he loosened the buttons up a little bit in Mallorca.
Well,
it was a different version of Ali.
I was asked to do so. And mind you, can I just say, I am here professionally working with you, right? And I'm leaving tomorrow. Dan Thomas, he's already going today. How does that work? I do not know. Maybe his liver needs to be acclimated, I guess.
Preferential treatment, it sounds like to me, Ali.
That you said it, I didn't.
All right, first question. Who will Man City miss the most this upcoming season, Frank? Rodri or Pep Guardiola?
Oh my God, that's a hard question. Well, I always believe that when you're on the field, you have the choice to make, well, you have the possibility to make good choices and be effective. It's hard to say that about coaches, especially when you talk about Pep. But I remember Michel Platini saying that it's very hard to be a coach because you want to go on the field. Because sometimes you see things that players don't see, but you cannot do anything. So you're pretty passive. So Pep with his tactic, with his long-term successful years, of course, it's going to be missed. I'm going for Pep. I'm going for Pep because I just realized that it's impossible to avoid 10 years, I think, of success like Pep brought to Manchester City, where Manchester City were far away from any other club like Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, of course, and some others. But what he did with Manchester City was absolutely fantastic.
Alex, how much longer will people use the excuse of Atleti having less quality than the big two to justify Simeone's failure, while in reality Atleti have spent more on player transfers than Barcelona and Real Madrid in the past 3 years?
I would say that transfer fees are not the measure you should be looking at. Look at the wage bill. Wages are a better predictor of where teams finish rather than how much they spend on transfers. In terms of the wage bill, Real Madrid and Barca are still significantly higher than Atleti. That is reflected in where they finish. I'm a Simeone believer. I think what he's done has been remarkably transformed the club. And I think even though it must be frustrating at times to almost always finish third, of course, finish fourth last season, that is a slight underperformance. I still think he gets pretty much as can be gotten out of that team, albeit at times they drop out of the title race a little bit earlier than they should.
Is it unfair to expect him to be achieving what those two are?
How dare Alex bring facts into the conversation? And that I think is the important part here, is that there is this expectation of what Diego Simeone should be or Atletico Madrid should be, and the facts tell you a different story. I would argue that Atletico Madrid continue to overachieve. Not necessarily year after year, but this is a team that went into the semifinals of Champions League. That's overachievement for Atletico Madrid. It is. Now, they underachieved in La Liga in terms of them finishing fourth, and they had some difficult performances and they had some underwhelming parts of the season. But on the whole, when I think of Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid, I think they've achieved far more than this team should have. And part of that, and a big part of that, is what Diego Simeone has brought to this club. So much like Alex, I wholeheartedly believe in Diego Simeone. Don't believe in the style a lot of the time, but I do believe in Diego Simeone and trying to squeeze everything he can out of his team.
Frank, which player excites you the most in the Chelsea first team and why?
You know what? I'm very interested about what João Pedro is going to do this year. He wasn't picked by Ancelotti for the World Cup, and I think it was a mistake. And I feel kind of a revenge, and I feel him very spot on for the beginning of the season, and hopefully he's going to carry on like that for the whole season and bring something special. We need a striker. If Cole Palmer can be behind him and serve him, that guy can be absolutely fantastic. But I'm always being very excited about Caicedo and what he can achieve. Is somebody like before him, you had Makelele, of course, and N'Golo Kante, those players who were so important for the Chelsea game, and hopefully Caicedo will stay at that level for the time that he's going to stay at Chelsea.
Okay. Ale, who is currently the best striker in the Premier League if Haaland is unavailable?
I'll tell you who is not. It ain't Kai Havertz, regardless of whatever Alex tells me on the list. It's not Kai Havertz. Or Gyökeres. You know that Gyökeres was on that list too? As the best strikers in the world? He was on that list. He made it into the... Who voted for this? Who voted for this?
19th. 19th.
Yeah, he was like 20th, but he was in. Okay, I digress. What do we call a striker nowadays? I do not know, but I'm going to say if Frank is going to be excited about Joao Pedro, then it may very well be Joao Pedro who is the choice here. I think if he gets enough service, Joao Pedro is a guy that can finish chances. Sometimes he gets too concerned about being more of a playmaker than a striker, but if it is about being inside the 18-yard box, I do think that Joao Pedro has the potential to be a dominant striker. Not as good as Erling Haaland, but a tier below.
Okay, Alex, start, bench or drop the midfield pairing. Pedri and Rodri, Bernardo Silva and Valverde, or Neves and Vitinha?
That's a good question. It's a great question. I think my heart goes always with Rodri and Pedri based on the Spain national team. I think I go with them to start. After that, Vitinha and Neves. What we've seen from PSG the last couple of years, it's very, very tasty. I think they're bench, and I think I'm dropping the Real Madrid pair, I'm afraid.
Okay. Has anyone watched the Mourinho documentary? Alex, how's the documentary being received in Spain? Was Mourinho's relationship that bad with the Madrid players, especially Casillas?
Do you know what we've been trying to find out, me and my colleagues, if Jose has seen it and what he thought of it, but unfortunately his people won't tell us. So we've been asking the question, but we haven't got an answer yet. I haven't watched it yet. I am going to watch it over the next few days before the season starts. I think I haven't got around to it yet, but yeah, it's been getting quite a bit of attention, I have to say, especially some of those juicy details about the Casillas relationship, which we knew was incredibly fraught and very difficult, but some of the details that have come out have been surprises.
Have you seen it, Frank?
No, I was too busy watching Vinnie Jones' documentary. Yeah. No, but seriously, I'm gonna watch it. I was a bit lazy with TV after the World Cup. I didn't watch TV too much, but I'm gonna watch it. Of course, you want to see Mourinho. He's a specimen.
Yeah, I think you'll like it, Frank, especially all the Chelsea side of things. It's interesting to go down memory lane.
Sure.
What about you, Ale?
So you mean to tell me that Mourinho is an interesting character?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you mean the guy that didn't want the attention of the press conference? Huh? He didn't want to be presented by Florentino Perez and Real Madrid because he's a low-profile sort of guy. That guy, that's what we're talking about, right? Of course he's interesting.
Have you watched it?
And yes, and Jose Mourinho is interesting. And it's not surprising that the relationship with Iker Casillas fell out in the manner in which it happened. And I think what Mourinho may have learned from those times is how he goes about handling coming into a locker room that seems to be controlled by a few players. And it's something that he's going to have to do coming into this locker room, where this locker room currently was empowered by Florentino Perez the moment that he decided to have Xabi Alonso walk out the door. So now it's Vini's team, and it's Mbappe's team, and it's whoever. Because nobody has actually raised their hand and said, I will lead this team, which is part of the discussion at Real Madrid. So now it seems like by default, it's going to be Mourinho who becomes the leader of this team. We'll see. We'll see if all of this works out. Everybody right now is feeling great. Everybody's feeling, oh yeah, all positive vibe, hey, all of that. All of that is going on right now with Real Madrid. We'll see if that lasts, and it's only going to last if this team is winning.
Lovely stuff. Okay, for Ale and Alex, you've shared your favourite Venezuelan food before, but what is a Venezuelan dish that is overrated and you could go without? Be careful, Alex.
How much trouble do you want me to get in? How sure can I be that my wife will not watch this? Honestly, you have no idea. I mean, what would it be? I mean, look, I'm not the world's biggest arepa guy. I'm sorry, Ale. I'm not a huge arepa guy.
What? All right,
What can I
okay.
say?
You know,
He's walked out.
Even
Don't worry, don't
even
worry,
I'm down with
Alex.
the arepas.
I don't even know what it is.
I do, and he's wrong.
come on. Are you kidding me right now? The corner piece, the
I had to choose
angular piece of Venezuelan cuisine, arepa, and you're saying that that's overrated? Good Lord, Alex.
I just like other things more. I like tequeños more. I like cachapas more. You know, what can I say?
Well, you can like those things, it's fine. But nothing happens in Venezuelan cuisine without an arepa.
Look, he just married a Venezuelan. He's not a Venezuelan like you.
Yeah, but if he wants to survive,
well,
marrying a
let's hope
Venezuelan,
he's not one.
arepa has to be an angular piece of your starting lineup. Lord, have mercy.
Don't
Of all the
answer
things that
to
I
all
thought he was going to
questions,
say,
Alex.
of all the things that I thought he was going to say that arepa is not it, it's a problem.
It's not been a good day for Alex Perkins and Ali Moreno.
I had Alex at a certain level.
I feel like I've let you down, Ali.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. I had you at a certain level. Today,
Then came Mariah.
the drop-off has been steep.
I've got work to do this season.
Steep. Lord have mercy. Arepas, baby. Vamos, Venezuela! Good Lord.
I feel like there's nothing underrated for you on Venezuelan cuisine, or am I wrong?
No. Well,
Overrated, sorry, overrated. of course.
overrated. I would say, and maybe Alex has had this or not, it's a soup that you're supposed to have to cure a hangover. It's called mondongo. And it has beef stripe in it. And, you know,
Oh no.
I could do without it.
Okay.
But the soup itself, if you take some of that stuff out, the taste is great. It's just, it has a whole bunch of stuff in it that I think you could do without. But I'm never taking arepa off the table.
Oh, my
Are you
goodness.
joking, Alex, right now? Good Lord.
Alex, you're going to have to be careful going back to bed tonight, mate.
Have mercy.
That's all we've got time for on the latest
Wish me
version
luck.
of Extra
Por
Time.
favor, Dios mío, santo, la Virgen.
Alex Kirkwood will be at the Atleti game tomorrow. We'll be hearing more from him on tomorrow's
Maybe.
show, no doubt.